Have you ever wondered why Wraith is an absolutely amazing hero in Apex Legends and why Gibraltar is quite bad? Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa. Also, in this video, we're going to cover a load of new legend or hero leaks, which we've found, which could be absolutely insane. But before we get on to that, I want to take a look at a video that Suki Spy. There is a link to the YouTube channel in the video description below. Also, yeah, go and check this guy out. He's done ridiculous work when it comes to hitboxes in Apex Legends. So, what we want to talk about here is the difference in hitboxes. Now, a hitbox, in case you guys don't know, is the target around the character that you're playing that registers when you get hit. So if you're playing Wraith, you have a certain character model. Now the hitbox should match the character model, which means that when you fire at Wraith, when you hit her, like because you're firing at her body, it registers on her hitbox, which is correct and fine. The problem is when you look at all the other heroes in this game, well, there's a bit of a discrepancy between all of the hitboxes, which means because all of the heroes have got the same amount of HP, like Gibraltar isn't exactly more tankier than a Wraith, unless he uses his dome shield, I guess, and stands in it. But in just a straight up firefight, there is no extra armor, there is no extra health for the tankier characters, or what you would expect to be the tankier characters. Actually, they are way worse because they've got a much bigger hitbox. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This image is from Suki Spy and it shows you the order of hitbox size. Okay, so the smallest hitbox we see here is Wraith. Now, these hitboxes were deduced or worked out, it's like I've all gone Sherlock Holmes, from the standing casual pose of the heroes. This doesn't show when the heroes are in combat, which arguably would make their hitboxes smaller because you're sliding around. When you're firing, you're in a different pose and all of that, so it changes the hitbox. Anyway, so what we've got is Wraith. Wraith is by far the smallest hitbox, so she's the most difficult hero to hit. She's crouched down, she's very small, she's very slender, super difficult to hit. Next up we get Lifeline. Now Lifeline, very thin, very small as well, very difficult to hit. Then we get Bloodhound. Look at Bloodhound, again, super small. Now you look at the 3 or the 4 super strong heroes right now in the game, it's Wraith, Lifeline, Bloodhound, and then probably Bangalore, just because of Bangalore's passive. Anyway, we then move on to Mirage. Mirage, very similar to Bangalore, and then to Bloodhound and Bangalore. And then you get Bangalore. Now, Bangalore is a bit weird. You maybe would have expected Bangalore to be a little bit smaller, hitbox-wise, but she's kind of not. And then this is where it gets ridiculous. So then you get Pathfinder, which has a very weird hitbox. Pathfinder's hitbox does not match his model at all. And I think the devs have actually said, yeah, we are looking at this because this is a bit silly. Then you get the big fat lads. You basically get Caustic, who looks massive. And then even bigger is big bad man, brother, hey brother, let's go, Gibraltar, who is massive, like ridiculously massive. So there actually was a Reddit user, Tractal, that, well, he's worked out the percentage of size difference for each of the hitboxes, and this is what will really make it super clear to you guys how different the hitboxes are in this game and how playing certain heroes give you a massive advantage. All right, check this out. So Wraith is about 33 square centimeters, or as we're going to call for this, 1 Wraith. Now these are all figures that Tractal has worked out. There's a link to his post on Reddit. Go and check it out. Go and give it a big fat upvote because it's a really good post. Next up we get Lifeline. Now Lifeline is 12% larger than Wraith. Then you get Bloodhound, who's 12% larger than Wraith, so they're very similar again in size. They're just hitboxes sort of got a different, like it's a bit chunkier, I guess. Bloodhound's is at the bottom, it's not as slender and as tall as Lifeline's. But then you get Mirage, who is 33% larger than Wraith. Bangalore is also 33% larger, and this is where it gets completely ridiculous. Pathfinder has a 90% bigger hitbox than Wraith, Caustic 105%, and the massive kicker, ladies and gentlemen, is Gibraltar with a 140% larger hitbox than Wraith. That is complete insanity. And why is that insanity, guys? Well, it's dead simple. When you look at the legend roster in the game, you look at Gibraltar, you look at Caustic, you think, okay, these guys are tanks. Even more so Gibraltar. The new player to the game will be like, all right, I'm going to pick Gibraltar. He's the tanky dude. He can drop a dome shield. He deploys his shield in front of himself when he's firing. That's his passive. It's great. It's cool. But actually, his hitbox is massive. You would expect maybe he can take more damage than the other heroes. That's not the case in this game. Everybody has the same amount of HP and the same amount of armor if they've all got the same tier of armor equipped. So Wraith is just as tanky as a Gibraltar, but Wraith is, well, 140% smaller. That is ridiculous. That means it's so much more difficult to actually shoot the Wraith. Now, where this starts to have a lot of implications and issues in the game is with shotguns. Now, shotguns are very powerful in Apex right now. The EV8, let's ignore the Mozambique. The EV8 is a really good weapon. The Pathfinder and, of course, the Mastiff. These are ridiculous weapons. The Mastiff is kind of like whatever. You can leave that because it's such a rare drop. It doesn't really matter. But when you look at the Pathfinder and you look at the EV8, these bad boys will connect with you when firing from the hip at point-blank range pretty easy. The thing is, if you're playing a Gibraltar or a Caustic or a Pathfinder, you are so much easier to hit with a full amount of spread, so you'll get hit with all of the shotgun pellets, take maximum damage than a Wraith. So if I'm trying to kill a Wraith, right, and I'm Gibraltar, and we've both got Pathfinders, even if we've got the same aim and we're still firing at each other accurately and we hit all of the shots, the Wraith will kill me just because I'm a big chunky lad. That is not right. In fact, that is bad. So what this means right now, guys, is there is very much a tier list in this game of heroes. Now, there was before anyway. And I've actually made videos going through the tier list. And in fact, I did put Caustic and Gibraltar down in the bottom tiers. Now, that wasn't because of their hitbox. That was just because of their abilities and the way that, like, you know, they don't really have movement abilities. They don't have things to close distance, close range, and start brawling with the enemy. They've got abilities that are strong, don't get me wrong. Caustic's gas is really, really good when you're in like the bunker or you're in the final circle of the zone and stuff like that. He becomes really strong. But apart from that, he kind of suffers, and also he's got a big hitbox. Then you look at Gibraltar. Yeah, the dome shield is pretty good. It's good for getting those clutch reses off. It's good again in like close quarter combat. He's got his personal shield, which is okay. That does make him a little bit more tankier, but only when firing ADS. And his ultimate is pretty good. The defensive barrage is pretty good. Again, you know, that's generally better when the zone closes in. But the fact is, if you take an equal Wraith player against an equal Gibraltar, put them together, the Wraith player will win in a close quarter battle with shotguns, just because, well, it's easier to hit the Gibraltar. And also with any other weapon, if you go down that path, because the Gibraltar is literally 140% bigger than the Wraith, which is complete ridiculous. So when we look at the tier list right now, if you are playing and you're looking for the best advantage possible, and I don't agree that this is a thing and the devs really need to just standardize all of this. I know that would be difficult because, well, they're all physically different characters, so the hitbox has to match the size of the hero. Maybe they do other things like they give Gibraltar more health or Caustic more health to offset this. Anyway, the tier list is pretty simple. Wraith is absolutely top tier right now. So is Lifeline, and so is Bloodhound. Those are the best heroes in the game right now. If you're going to roll a team that's going to be super difficult to hit, you roll Wraith, Lifeline, Bloodhound, and you go ham. That is the way to play this game right now. Needs to change, but yeah, I just wanted to highlight this because the video of Suki Spy is super, super good. Alright, so there was a minor little kind of small leak. Now, this was from Gaming Intel, and it relates to ranked mode in Apex Legends. Now, I'm not sure whether this is completely accurate. I just want to put this out there so you guys can make your own mind up. But there's a lot of entries here in, or for League ends, League total points, League welcome text, all of this stuff. It could mean competitive mode comes to Apex Legends. I'm not sure. But this was only found on the 21st of February. So this is kind of a recent leak in a way, so maybe this is accurate. I don't know, but you guys make your own minds up here. I would like to see competitive in this game. I'd like to see like a team mode. I think that'd be super cool if you could like form teams and you had a team rank. That'd be awesome. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Okay, and finally, apparently 8 new legend names have been data mined. Now, this is by the Reddit user Hans Lander Blackout. There is a link to his profile in the video description. So, yeah, what we've got here is possible names for heroes. So, we've got Bangalore. Okay, that's fine. Blackout. Now, that's a new name. Bloodhound. Well, we know about that. Caustic. Yep. Crypto. Could be like a Bitcoin hero. That's a new entry. Husaria. Jericho. Then we get Lifeline, Mirage, Gibraltar, okay, whatever. Nomad, Octane, which we think is a hero because of the other leaks. We believe Octane will get added at some point. Prophet, Rampart, Rosie, Scunner, Watson. We think Watson and Octane will be added fairly soon. But yeah, isn't that cool? These could be potentially the names of heroes about to be launched, or at least heroes that are going to be launched in the future. We suspect that we're going to get the new hero fairly soon because the Battle Pass is pretty much imminent right now for Apex Legends. When that comes out, we're hoping that we get a new hero and a new weapon, possibly the L-Star, comes out at the same time. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been another beautiful Apex Legends video. I am still enjoying this game. It is literally my go-to game right now. I can just drop in, drop out, drop in, drop out. It's so goddamn good. And I tell you what, it's making me think that I should start streaming on Twitch. If you guys followed the channel for a while, you'd know that obviously, you know, I haven't streamed Overwatch for a very long time. In fact, I think the last time I streamed on Twitch was it was an event. It's probably one of the Overwatch events that I went to, which was cool and fine. The problem with streaming Overwatch is I've never really been the guy to sit down and play the game for like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours solid. I'll play Overwatch for like an hour, maybe come off, come back on. Never really played it solid. Apex, though, I can literally play it for like 6 or 7 hours. So I'm thinking this could be the ideal game. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that in the comments below. All right, guys, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @Stylosa. Also, I guess you could follow the Twitch channel in case I do start streaming, which is twitch.tv/Stylosa. Also, it used to be Unit Lost, but I changed it a while ago. And my Instagram is @Stylosa. All right, guys, I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. Oh, and remember, check out all of the links for all of the sources in this video in the description below. Catch you on the next one. Doodaloo.